program, otherwise known as ELLP. The participants in this program were selected by the Hacemos DRG based on their experience and participation within the organization. With over 65 applications, only 25 were selected for this program. It's strategically designed for level 1 and 2 managers seeking an experience to challenge themselves in a role they've never done. This 5-month program required virtual attendance, leadership, team collaboration, introduction to design thinking, and mentorship with their VPGM, Lynette Aguilar. Each team was asked to work on a problem statement for this presentation. The goal isn't necessarily to solve the problem, but it's to suggest solutions, incorporate data, and present to leadership. Next slide. Today, or let's get to the agenda page. There you go. Today, you will be introduced to the problem statement presented by Erica Vargas. Jenny Barajas will cover engaging elementary. Gabriela Zapata and May Oyola will walk through engaging middle and high schoolers. Erica Favela Johnson will cover college, and then we'll wrap up with Q&A with Lynette Aguilar. And again, please put your questions in the chat box so we can get them to her. And with that said, Erica, it's all yours.
Thank you, Johanna. Hi, my name is Erica Vargas, and I'm a quality manager in customer care workforce operations. My parents and I immigrated to the United States when I was about a year old and was raised outside of Dallas in Raleigh, Texas. Like many immigrant parents, they aspired for a better life for their family. My father with a high school education and my mother with some college years under her belt encouraged my educational development as much as they could. However, they struggled with providing guidance as they did not know what educational pathways were available or whom to ask for guidance. Our team, as proud Latinas, believe this is a common occurrence in our communities. So we asked ourselves, next slide, please.
How might we as Latinas create a STEM career path for school-age students? Through the Hacemos Emerging Latina Leadership Program, we realized that we all had similar stories, backgrounds, and cycles that were broken through us. Our team, Mujeres Paving the Way, realized that in order to break cycles, we needed to close gaps. In order to close the gaps, we need to find a way to educate parents about programs, activities that they can do to engage their children and help their children create individual pathways through different childhood stages. So Mujeres Paving the Way created a TikTok video series highlighting different childhood stages, hoping to capture our youth's attention while educating their parents.
Hi, thank you for joining our Juntos Hacemos el Camino video series. My name is Erica Vargas. I'm 34 years old and immigrated to the United States with my parents around the age of 1. Growing up, I remember being told by many teachers that I had potential. Great, I thought, I have potential. As the years went on, I realized that I had no idea of how to unlock my potential and wasn't too sure what classes, roadmaps, or pathways I needed to follow. I asked my parents for help and quickly realized that their knowledge in this area was limited. I found that finding the correct pathway for my education was going to be challenging. As an adult, I realized that there were many individuals who faced similar challenges. So, Mujeres Paving the Way partnered up creating a series of videos highlighting different ways parents can engage their children throughout different stages, unlocking their potential, curiosity, and knowledge. Come with me as Jenny walks us through early childhood.
Thank you, Erica. That was really awesome. Hello, everyone. I am Jenny Barajas, Associate Director of Systems Integration in the FedGov government space located in Oakton, Virginia. As we began this journey, one of the areas that we agreed upon is having parent involvement. Family is critical, crucial to the Hispanic community. Hard work is very much part of la cultura latina, the Latin culture. So much so that often work holds a higher priority than education. I think this is a good time to discuss how we're using technology in this presentation. Not only are we using it in videos as well as social media, but also in automation. We are passionate about technology, so much so that we want the next generation to be part of that technology career. We also want to remove the technology divide. Therefore, my presentation is geared towards the parents of elementary school kids, as they are shaped more by parents than peers at this age. So join me as we begin to influence parents of elementary school students into STEM.
My first day of school in New York, newly arriving to the United States, I wouldn't speak to anyone for over a month. I didn't know the language. Hispanics are one of the most educationally disadvantaged groups in the United States. Of Hispanics ages 25 and older, 57% had graduated from high school and 27% had less than a 9th grade education. But now as a parent, I know I paved the way by example. As Hispanic parents, let's begin instilling the lifelong skill of learning with our elementary students. Let them learn by exploring. My son found a green tree frog while visiting his abuelita. Parents, let's not be afraid to let our daughters play in the dirt. Here, this tickle-me plant reacts as its leaves are touched. My daughter looking at a sea turtle on a black sand beach. We learned together why sea turtles return each year to the same beach and why it had black sand. Let them play. Allow kids to explore STEM through activities. My daughters love playing chess, which gave them the ability to think 2-3 steps ahead. Great for coding and math. Both girls thought it was the coolest thing to dress up as scientists, using electrical snap circuits to pretend that they created a mad invention. Although my daughter was acting silly with the dinosaur display, she learned about prehistoric animals. By instilling the love of learning, you get students like my sons who won't stop listening about sea urchins. Parents that are fully engaged are the best teachers. Our children watch and mimic us. Having parents involved with homework will give our children a stronger chance of success. This Rube Goldberg machine was made with things we found in our basement. Don't forget to fully participate with chaperoning field trips. These are great opportunities for them to learn about STEM fields like coding and robotic design. With a bit of hard work and lots of interest, your child could use their math and technology skills at a great company. Padres, juntos hacemos el camino. Parents, together paving the way. Where do we go from here? About a week ago, we uploaded my video onto LinkedIn. So far, we have gotten several positive responses and have had hundreds of views. But I say we're not doing enough. Employers like to boast about their diversity numbers. However, Hispanics in a tech industry usually only have supporting roles rather than holding a tech position. According to the EEOC of Hispanics, only 6.3% hold a computer or a mathematical occupation, and even lower for Hispanic women. No wonder I've always felt like a unicorn. We need a new mindset. Let me explain. Growing up, most Hispanics are told to keep quiet, keep your head down, be humble, don't speak up. Your work is going to speak for itself. I know I'm hitting a chord with some of you. Instead, I say, bloom where you are. You don't need permission to strive for greatness. Therefore, speak up when your mind says no, but your heart knows you have the solution. Volunteer for the difficult tasks. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. In the past, I was told in order to move forward, I needed to get my MBA, a Master's in Business Administration. Although that may have seemed like the logical path, I felt it would be a waste of my time. I have had extensive experience in the financial world. It would be a waste of resources, time, and money. My heart said, surround yourself with those on the same mission. With the help of leaders that believed in me, I got my Master's of Science in IT Telecommunications Management. I have used that degree daily since I've received it to provide my teams the technical leadership to grow and make innovative strides for our customers. Remember, it's not just parent engagement that will help our elementary students. It takes all of us. Our children are looking at us as the example as they try to follow our footsteps. And most importantly, never stop growing. Thank you for your kind attention. Now let me hand it off to Gabriela as our focus is on middle and high school students.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I'm excited to be here today with everyone and to share a bit of myself. We are having some audio concerns, and I apologize. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I am Gabriela Zapata, a Senior Quality Project Manager for the West Region Virtual Call Centers under Joe Farrell's organization. I am a proud Hispanic woman living the dream, which is collaborating with people to find innovative solutions daily. My career with AT&T started in the Bilingual Acquisition Miami Center as an agent, and throughout my tenure, I've held various roles: team lead, MSN team manager, boot camp sales trainer, AVP system ambassador, and senior project manager for the Retail East Region channel. I am proud to achieve recognition to join developmental programs such as MVP, Thrive, and Level Up. I owe all my success and accomplishments to my parents. Their bravery to flee a communist regime and adapt to new language and culture for a brighter future for their kids is honorable and the reason why I'm here today. So my presentation will continue to discuss the educational timeline of Hispanic students throughout critical middle and high school age. I really hope you guys can really hear the video. Jenny, if you can.
I was a baby when my parents immigrated to the United States. My parents struggled to help me with schoolwork because, of course, the language barrier. However, that never stopped them from helping me, especially in these critical years. I'm here to discuss with you today how parents and students can break the common herd stereotypes. Come with me as we look at other ways to encourage our middle and high school students, porque juntos hacemos el camino. This is a fragile age group. Hispanic middle schoolers and high schoolers are surrounded with common stereotypes: early pregnancy, incarceration, high school dropouts. In addition, there's a new challenge.
A new study shows that U.S. teens are losing interest in subjects like technology, math, and science. They simply just say they don't know what they want to be when they grow up.
Hi, what would you like to be when you grow up? I don't know. Hi, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
It has become an epidemic that our Hispanic children are not following footsteps into the STEM career paths that are out there. And as parents, it's our job to help them reach these goals.
Let's show our Hispanic children those role models already in STEM jobs. Middle school and high school students also have the ability to take ownership. They can take ownership of their courses, volunteer work, after-school activities that will help. Bottom line, STEM needs to be wherever our middle school and high school students are. Let's join some summer camps, coding classes, and even enroll in online math or science tutoring. All these programs are opportunities to take advantage of. And the last piece of advice, parents, is to embrace technology. Take advantage of social media to educate and reach out to our younger Latinos to grow together. It's so important reaching out and engaging our Hispanic teenagers so we can break these old patterns and create new ones. Because padres y jóvenes juntos hacemos el camino. Parents and young adults together providing the way. Let's make some changes and improve a brighter future.
Middle and high school age students, as well as parents, can make a difference in our future. Let me just share some statistics with you today. The median annual wage for a STEM occupation in 2020 was $89,000. This is well double that of a non-STEM occupation, where the median annual wage is $40,000. Also, the STEM jobs are projected to grow in the next couple of years about 8.8%. Based on this data, we need to explore more STEM options, and we have additional resources to take advantage in middle and high school. Let me introduce to you May, who will discuss with you today what AT&T has created to inspire our youth towards STEM careers. May, take it away.
Thank you so much, Gabby, for that. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today with us. My name is May Oyola, and I was born in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. I actually moved to the United States in 2015. I'm raising my two teenage daughters, my two youngest one, here in the United States, and I'm always making sure that we keep our traditions as Latinas alive. It has not been an easy for me as a Latina. However, every challenge became very empowering experience and a great example for my daughters. I started my career with AT&T in Puerto Rico. And like I said, I moved to the United States in 2015. Throughout the years, I have not only grown personally, but also professionally. I am very proud of my path and what I have accomplished in AT&T. I'm a Summit winner, MDP, and Level Up graduate. I'm also currently part of the Hacemos Atlanta chapter board member and past vice president of the Lubbock, Texas Veterans chapter. I can definitely say I am a successful Latina, proud to be a quality MMP manager for AT&T Office of the President. As the mother of two teenagers, it's really important to me to help them build a path to a future, a great career, especially in STEM. Let's talk about opportunities that we have available. Next slide, please.
Let's talk about opportunities. Through the Hacemos Employee Resource Group, we have the High Tech Day. The purpose of a High Tech Day is to spark interest in students in STEM jobs and careers. We bring students from schools in our surrounding communities that are considered at risk. At risk meaning that these students are not likely to go to college, so the idea is to show them that people just like them can make great careers and do well in STEM, and hopefully spark interest in them to want to pursue STEM degrees and careers. We talk about the fun in STEM careers and about how well they can pay as well. It is a day filled with fun, discovery, hands-on labs. Typically, we have students from multiple schools. Some of the workshops we have is working with microbits and teaching the students basic coding. They learn how coding is translated into action by programming a microbit to play paper, rock, scissors by responding to shaking the device. Another workshop we host is basic circuit building. We show them the basic of circuits and current and how one change can alter the current to not work or to perform a different function. A third workshop we host is resume writing. We go through the basics of writing a resume and break down each section of one. We also help them understand how their experience in school, sports, band, and other organizations can help them in their resumes. A fourth workshop we host is Don't Text and Drive. We have an interactive game to help them understand the dangers of texting and driving and how it is very easy to be distracted by our phones when driving. High Tech Day will be hosted this year in October 28th. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, it may be virtual.
The floor is yours, Erica.
Thank you. Thank you, May. Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Favela Johnson. I am a lead tax accountant in corporate. I've been with the company for 2 years. I am the proud daughter of Mexican immigrants and was the first in my family to graduate from college. I'm also a CPA and have been in the tax business for the past 15 years, although I don't see myself doing this for the rest of my career. I'm originally from Illinois, born and raised in the suburbs of Chicago. My family and I moved down to Dallas 2 years ago so that I could work for AT&T. I came to AT&T with a sense of ambition and purpose. I want to give my family the chance to thrive, just like my parents did for me and my siblings. Although my parents barely had an elementary school education, they knew how important it was for us to be educated. Hence, they were my biggest supporters when I was able to attend college. Next.
With that in mind, this part of the presentation will go over how Latino college students can be supported to become part of the STEM workforce, from the challenges to opportunities and tips on how to become an AT&T employee. Let's begin with understanding the challenges for Latino college students. First, Latino students experience a general difficulty in adjusting to college life and its academic demands. They may experience some sort of culture shock as they move from high school to college, generally because of a larger non-minority environment and a more demanding academic learning institution. For those of you that are Latino and attended college, do you remember looking around and noticing that you might have been the only Latino in your classes? Another challenge is that Latinos sometimes must contend with various culture barriers within their families. Some Latinos who are capable of achieving academic success may be hindered by the fact that their parents are not supportive of their academic or professional advancement due to general misconceptions about college education. Said simply, parents may not have the education or the network or know of any role models that are in the STEM fields. Also, parents may have gender-based expectations and stereotypes. There may be situations, for example, where women are not allowed to leave home to go to college. They have to stay at home to take care of their younger brothers and sisters. There's also a stereotype that women are supposed to be nurses and teachers, and men are supposed to be engineers and scientists. One of the biggest challenges, though, is the financing of college. Parents may not be able to sign off on loans and may have no idea how to pay for college. There may also be family pressure to earn an income right out of high school to help support the family at home first. There's also a lack of mentorship. It's something that a lot of us face, that we don't have any role models. We don't have enough people telling us the many options that we do have. Most don't have enough people to talk to who could advise about what options there are, and that can be a major problem, even now in our careers. And unfortunately, there can also be discrimination. Some instances can be both blatant and subtle in applying to schools and jobs. There can be situations where the professors are picking who they're going to be working with. They become the gatekeepers. A lot of times, they will hire people who look like themselves. It's not done on purpose, but it just sort of happens. So even if there is a university policy, there are still those kind of issues. It can't all be bad, right? Let's talk about some successes. What are the factors driving Latino success in STEM careers? There's financial support, assistance from the federal government, the state, universities, and communities. There can be scholarships, student loans, and work-study programs. Personally, I worked at a bank during college and was able to get part of my education reimbursed. Also, this is a great time to mention that the women of AT&T have the Kathy Coughlin Memorial Scholarship that provides female college students majoring in a STEM-related field of study 5 scholarships worth $1,000 each. Applications are being accepted until the end of the month. Another factor is affirmative action-based opportunities. These programs can help overcome a stereotype threat, allowing Latinos to, quote, get their foot in the door. Once you're in, you put in the work to demonstrate that you truly belong. Lastly, support network for Latinos majoring in STEM. An example of this type of support can be found at the Society for Hispanic Engineers. They assist Latino college students by providing a support system, helping students network and study for exams. Let's move on to current opportunities for Latinos in STEM. There needs to be more of an active recruitment by colleges and universities for underrepresented minorities. A great example comes from Texas A&M. They have a recruiter who goes to high schools and works directly with students. Since then, they've seen applications to those universities rise because someone had gone into the schools. The recruiter even goes to the homes and talks to the parents. It's not just a big and personal process. Another opportunity is for Hacemos to create a partnership with colleges and universities. Hacemos could start a college mentoring program. It doesn't have to be just for STEM majors, but open to any Latino in college. Possibly have the local chapters reach out to their local colleges and meet up with their Latino student unions and having a mentoring event, providing support as they see fit. So what can Latino college students getting a STEM degree expect in the workforce? Latino and Black workers remain underrepresented in the STEM workforce compared with their share of all workers. But a Pew Research Center report published in April of this year found that the gap in STEM workforce representation is especially large for Hispanic adults. Hispanic workers make up 17% of total employment across all occupations, but just 8% of all STEM workers. There has been dramatic growth in the number of STEM graduates from U.S. colleges and universities at all degree levels since 2010. Even so, there's little indication that diversity in related jobs will shift substantially in the near term. Black and Hispanic adults are less likely to earn degrees in STEM than other degree fields, and they continue to make up a lower share of STEM graduates relative to their share of the adult population. The share of Hispanic college graduates with a STEM degree, about 12%, remains lower than that for all college graduates in 2018. Hispanics at AT&T. The current demographics show that 15.9% of total U.S. employees are Hispanic and only 12.4% of AT&T management are Hispanic. As a way to increase these percentages and bring about more attention to AT&T from college students, I've created the following short videos. My videos are slightly different than my peers as I'm targeting college students directly through TikTok. Hi, my name is Erica Favela Johnson. I work for AT&T. Are you a Latino college student who wants to work for a top company like AT&T? If so, follow along to get some insights. In the next few videos, I'll go over the traditional paths of finding a job after college, and then I'll go over on how to catch AT&T's attention. So, you're a college student and thinking about your future. How are you going to get a job? Step 1, go to your Career Development Center. There, they can help you explore who you are, your goals, and what matters to you. Expand your networking skills and connect with your future employers. They can also help you review job search materials, resumes, cover letters, and applications. And they can help you practice interviews to gain confidence. You also want to attend career events and fairs. There, you can meet with employers during meet and greet sessions or interview days. Practice your interviews, that's important. And if your college has Career Fest, make sure that you attend those too. And one of the final steps is to try applying for internships and developmental programs. Make sure you have a strong resume. Be as descriptive as possible towards the job that you're interested in. And include only relevant information. Remember to keep it concise. Ensure that the format is easy to skim. Also, have a strong cover letter. Make sure that your cover letter is unique. You want to describe your qualifications and experience, and you also want to be able to show your passion and enthusiasm. And don't forget to gather references. You're going to need 2 to 3 references. Ask your teachers, professors, or previous employers. They'd be great and more than likely very willing to give you great references. So, good luck, and make sure your social media accounts are private. Are you a college student in a STEM major and looking into what opportunities AT&T has for you? Let me show you what opportunities are available for you. There's a cybersecurity internship that runs for 3 months in the summer. It's paid full-time position. You'll be assigned a project to work on during your time. There is also a technology development program internship that runs for 10 to 12 weeks during the summer. It's a paid full-time position. You'll be assigned a project to work on during your time related to software engineering, data analytics, network engineering, and technical business management. Another internship available is an AT&T Labs internship. It runs for 10 weeks during the summer. It's a paid full-time position. You'll be assigned a project to work on during your time and get to develop new products. Another intern program available is the AT&T Edge internship program. It runs for 10 to 12 weeks during the summer. It's a paid full-time position, and you'll get the opportunity to gain experience across a variety of business areas. And lastly, there's a technology development program. It's a rotational program that lasts between 24 and 36 months. It's a paid full-time position, and you will gain skills in software engineering, data analytics, network engineering, and technical business management. If you're accepted into one of these programs, your chances of becoming a permanent employee are increased. If you're serious and ready, check out this link to see when you can apply. Good luck!
You can be a quality M&P process manager.
You can be like me, Jenny Barajas, Associate Director of Systems Integration.
You can be a lead tax accountant.
You can be like me, Gabriela Zapata, Senior Project Manager.
You can be like me, Quality Manager for AT&T Office of the President.
You can be like me, Lynette Aguilar, AT&T's Vice President and General Manager of North Texas.
Sure, it's Lynette.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, could unmute. Okay, awesome.
Jenny, actually, if you can make her a panelist on the participation or the participant list, then she'll be able to close us out. Until then,
she's a panelist. She's on there. She's a
panelist. Okay.
Is she able to unmute herself?
Hey guys.
Yep, there she is.
Awesome. Johanna, I can jump in, but if you wanted to make some comments, please.
Go ahead, really.
Okay, I don't want to cut you off. Ladies, what a nice job. So I'm Lynette Aguilar for all of our audience. First and foremost, thank you for carving out time to be here to support these women who are in this incredible pilot development journey with Hacemos. They've done an incredible job. And I want to first, ladies, applaud all of you for your vulnerability. You shared a lot of very personal insights with this audience, and that can be challenging to do outside of your personal families, especially as Latinas. So I want to recognize that and applaud you, as well as tackling the issue and finding a unique way to share your insights and encourage the community at large. I think you did a phenomenal job with that. And I know when we publish those videos, and some of them you've already published into social channels, you do so without some of the audio challenges we have. So if you experience some challenges on this audio cast, please go check out these women. They've posted these stories, and I don't want you to miss them. So a couple of questions that I wanted to ask and tee up with the ladies is, before we really get into questions specifically about your presentation, I'd like to have a discussion about what is it outside of education and STEM that you think is so important for all of our audience members to know about your experience as Latinas in the workforce, or specifically at AT&T? And is there something you need from your, the audience, your supporters, your mentors, your bosses? I know you've invited a lot of people, but I'd love to create an opportunity for you to share what is it that you might need, or something about your personal experience maybe you haven't already tackled. So I'm just going to go in order. how I see you on the screen. So let me go to Jenny, Erica, and then Gabriela and May. You don't all have to comment, but would love to just kind of tee it up in that order.
Sure. Thank you, Lynette. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting. This was an incredible journey. We learned a lot. When we did the research, we were shocked about how low the participants of Hispanics into technology. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I felt like mathematics was my equalizer. You know, I didn't know the language. You know, it was hard. And people were coming from a different language, and English is a very, very difficult language. And so one of the things, as time went on, I started realizing, even though mathematics was my equalizer and that never changed, the things that really we needed as time went on was not just mentorship, but sponsorship. Having people out there that would speak well of us, right? They knew our hard work. They knew how hard we worked. And even though we couldn't toot our own horns, because that's not part of our culture. Our culture is never to toot our horns, right? It's always to keep our head down, you know, work hard. But we need that sponsorship. And I think we've discussed that in the past, right? And it will be very nice one day to see, you know, a Latina as one of the officers, you know, one of the top officers. I mean, we could see that, and when we see that, then we know we can too. If they can do it, we can do it. And so that's part of where I was looking at it as we began this journey.
You know, absolutely. I appreciate that the sponsorship is critical. And ladies, we were just talking this week about the idea of being over mentored and under sponsored. And Jenny, you called out a very real reality for us at AT&T is that right now, at least in the communications part of our company, right under Jeff McElfresh, there's currently not a Latina officer. Erica, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Just echoing what Jenny just said. When the time comes, and you know, I'm hoping to move on from where I am, maybe level 3. You never know. I'm hoping, as much as I see so many people out there reaching their hand to help us, you know, that they'll take the time to actually sponsor me along with others and give opportunities to everyone else. Let's break the ceiling, you know, shatter the glass all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I encourage you to keep pushing forward and competing for those opportunities, lateral or promotional, and put yourself out there. Erica?
Yes. Thank you, Lynette. Look, I think that our community, I think that we have a lot of strong talent within AT&T in our Latin community. Again, I think we just need sponsorship to help us elevate to our next levels and expand our careers. But there's no reason why leadership should look outside of the company when we hold a lot of that talent internally.
I love it. 100%. Thank you, ma'am. Gabriela?
I learned so much in this program. I think the program allows, you know, as peers, we learned different skill sets, just by simply given this problem made us think. And within me, I have 3 kids, so it really made me identify some gaps that I need to work as a parent to ensure my kids have the tools that they need to be successful in the workforce. But also made me think within our organization, right? I've been privileged to be in many programs that have helped me develop, but it's what you guys have already said, and I'm going to echo it again. It's being part of those conversations when they're looking for job opportunities, making sure that we are part of the names that are being used to promote one another. I would love, like Jenny mentioned, you know, to have somebody I can identify, a woman who's Hispanic, who's part of our leadership team that I can aspire to and feel that if she can do it, I can do it, right? So it's really just ensuring that we as Hispanics are holding each other's hands and helping each other as we go up the ladder. Think of your Hispanic peers and those that need also the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. Gabriela, one of the things you said too is all of it is so true, but I want to add to your comment about as Latinas, we've got to hold each other's hands and lift each other up, right? In our community, for those of you who may not be close to the Hispanic or the Latino community, right, we tend to be very family focused, That's how we were raised. You take care of your family, you take care of your own. And as much as we celebrate our community, we're less community-based and driven than some other diverse segments, right? Who might rally behind specific diverse churches or universities. We tend to just be very family focused, large family focused, but family focused. And so, you know, as we work together and build community in the corporation through programs like this, through the broader Hacemos, and there's other groups trying to say, okay, we can't just stay family focused going forward. We've got to learn from some of the other diverse segments and really come together and form communities in ways that maybe we didn't grow up with. Thanks for that.
100%.
May?
I share the feeling from my peers. This program helped me so much. It was very challenging. I am, like I said in my presentation, I'm raising 2 teenagers here in the United States. It's so different the way I grew up in Puerto Rico, and bringing them here and everything. It's just really different. I would definitely love to have more sponsorship as Latinas within the company. I think it's really important, and we have so much to bring to the table. There's a lot. We are very powerful, and we can make it better together with that sponsorship. Outside of AT&T, I volunteer and I work with a lot of Latinas outside that they have different problems, and I've been helping them to grow and to be more and to go back to college or finish an education, help them with their kids, how they can become better, even have my own workshop that it's going to start sometime next year. But it is very empowering, and we should help each other and build each other and always look for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. There's outside of AT&T, I'm part of an organization called High Tech. It's for Hispanics in technology, Hispanic executives in technology, or those striving to be executives. And they have this vision that they talk about where it's push up and pull up, right? So that idea of let's celebrate the people who've come before us. And, you know, Erica, to your point, they've broken glass ceilings, but there's still more work to do. So we got to keep pushing. And at the same time, pulling others up with us. And that's our peer group, to the conversation today, students, right? For families and for individuals who are able to break through and get into college, which is harder as a first generation American, right? There's a big fallout rate after the second year, right? Funding drives up. It's hard to navigate that if your parents, a couple of you mentioned, right, your parents weren't able to help you either through language or they didn't have the same education. They just didn't know, right? And so we have the obligation to reach back and pull up with us. Those are still struggling. So I love the focus on education in this panel, and then individually, your work helps supporting one another and others in the community. It's so powerful and so important. And I know all of us, and I'm looking at you too, Johanna, have benefited from our mentors, our sponsors, and being able to have those candid discussions to say, thank you so much for your mentorship. Would you be willing to sponsor me, right? And have those conversations and advocate for me. And for us to be very candid and say, it is so hard to do our own PR. It's so hard because, man, my mama would have smacked me, because that's not how you talk about yourself. That's not how you behave in our community, which is we're humble, right? You do a really good job and keep your head down and good things will happen. It's what I was taught, and that's not the way the world works. And so we've got to get past that. All right, one more question I want to tee up for you guys is, and I'm just going to let whomever chime in, so don't feel obligated, but if you have something to add. And this program is in its inaugural year. Right? I'd love to hear some feedback and kind of celebrate the program. What has it meant to you having this opportunity, and what might you want to do with it?
I'll go first. I've grown so much with this program. I think one of the things that I struggled with was just these inner thoughts, right? Imposter syndrome and not feeling like I'm good enough, and all these negative thoughts were playing in my head. However, once we started talking amongst ourselves, you know, with our team and just the group in general, I realized that we all have those same thoughts at one point, and that we're still thinking those things, and we're still overcoming them slowly. So for me personally, it was just a growth opportunity just to realize that, hey, you know what, I'm not the only one. There's other people out there. We just have to speak out and, you know, again, build up to our community.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Just to add to Erica's point, this program really allowed me to do exactly what I was saying, hold hands, because I've been introduced to some great women that I will now be friends with and continue my career with, and have these discussions as we go on, because we have these discussions by ourselves, and it's great to have it with each other to really support one another and continue our growth and our path to success. It takes a village to get those thoughts out of your head. They've been in there for years, right? They come before our parents, and so it's important to have somebody who has the same challenges as you. That's why it's so important to have leaders with your same background, because they can understand the struggles that you've gone through, and you can relate to them. So this has been a great opportunity for me to grow my network to women that are empowered, and they're Hispanic, and they're strong, and they want to grow in this company. So that's really what I've taken away with it.
And that we're not alone, right? I think that's part of what I really enjoyed about this program. We're not alone. Being a female Hispanic in technology, I always tell everyone I feel like a unicorn, because I look around, there's no one that looks like me or speaks like me, and I'm like, I feel so alone. But this program told me, hey, you're not alone. There are other people out there, and we can make a difference, and we want to make a difference into our community. When I noticed how many more students were having trouble during the COVID times. That divide became even larger, especially among the Hispanic community. We've already talked about how difficult it is that some parents don't have the knowledge or the education. And so as we began this program, it just seemed like, oh my goodness, it is. We're not alone, and we need to do something. We need to get together and see what kind of difference we can make. And I feel like we're going to make a difference. It's not just here within AT&T, but we're also going to go outside of AT&T and see how many people we can reach out there to say, you're not alone. We can do this together, and here's the possibilities. So this is awesome. I really appreciate it.
I love it. So Jenny, building on that, we actually had a question from the audience in terms of reaching the students. You hinted towards the digital divide. We can talk about that all day long. But the question we have from the audience is, based on your research, what can we do to attract young women, specifically Latinas, to the STEM field above and beyond the videos and the insights that you shared with us today?
For me, I think it's going into the schools. High Tech Day was awesome. I was able to be part of High Tech Day in DC when we actually had it in DC a couple years ago before COVID. We couldn't do it last year, and this year we're going to have to do it virtually as well. But we need to get back into the schools and show them, hey, these are really cool things, especially in the underserved communities. I can't even talk today. But that's the areas we need to focus on. When I grew up in the middle of Detroit, one of the hardest, inner city places that you can grow up with. I didn't have the technology there. I didn't have any of that stuff, but what was it different? And the only thing that I could say all the time is mathematics. That's the thing that drew me. And with mathematics and other opportunities of education, I was able to get out of that inner city environment. But we need to be able to go to the schools and say, hey, just give us this opportunity. Let's get to this opportunity for the kids. So that's what my focus would be on.
I'd like to add to that. I think that as parents, or me as a mother, I think it starts with me too, right? I need to start trying to develop that curiosity in my child and take her to children's museums that have like robotics areas, or in Dallas we have the Pro Museum, so and that has great things around technology and science and things that can stimulate them and start enlightening that curiosity at a young age. That's what I would do as a parent.
Also, I think it depends on the age group that you're discussing. As a child, they're more prone to what you have to say. I had teenagers, and that was so rough because you can tell them till you're blue in the face. So it's more about showing them about other role models. There are in those careers, educating them on what the future will hold with these particular careers, incentivize them with them enrolling in activities that will add on to that curiosity so they can themselves make those decisions as they go.
Love it. So ladies, we're here at the top of the hour. We've got about 3 minutes left. Before I wrap us up, Johanna, I wanted to bring you in. You did such a great job being one of the madrinas for this group. Is there anything you'd like to add as we close out?
No, I was probably most impressed with the way that this group came together, and they're from different parts of the country, different backgrounds, different jobs, and just being a part of the ERG gives you the ability to network outside of the people that you just work with. And I feel like they did a really good job of getting to know each other and using the strengths that each of them had. I'm sorry, everybody, for the audio, but as we all know, technology is what it is. And, I wish that it would have been a little bit better from that perspective, but otherwise, really, really great content.
I love it. So thank you for that, Johanna. And I'll just wrap us up. Want to thank Anna and Martha, Johanna, for your leadership in creating this program and building this platform, recognizing there's a need within our company to really develop our Latina leadership. So thank you guys for the thought leadership and being brave enough to bring this to life and to put in the hours to do it. Ladies, you guys have done a phenomenal job, like Johanna said, of getting to know each other, being vulnerable from a leadership perspective and sharing your unique challenges, recognizing where your challenges are not so unique and we experience them as a group. And for working with your mentors, your leaders, your sponsors today to share these insights. And I just encourage you to continue supporting the community, supporting one another, and remembering it's okay to advocate for yourselves because you have so much to offer and so much potential. And so thank you for inviting me to participate with you as your senior madrina. It's been a pleasure. For those of you who may not know, I don't know if we defined that earlier, but madrina is godmother in Spanish, and our madrinas are very important to us as a community and very special women. So it has been a pleasure, and I'm excited to continue the relationship with you. So with that, on behalf of the ladies, thank you all for joining and for your interest and investment. Appreciate the time today.
Thank you, Lynette.